Hello friends, this is Julie with Craft with Julie, and it is time to do our cutting guide video for the Chillin with My Gnomies workshop that we'll be doing on August 21st. So if you purchase your supplies, go ahead and grab those. If not, there is still time to purchase the supplies and craft along with us. And you can find all the supplies on juliescott.closetomyheart.com. The supplies you'll need to pull out today for the cutting guide video is the Mix-in paper packet, the Mix-in coordinating cardstock, and the distressed watercolor cardstock. We'll be cutting those, and then I'm going to actually have you guys cut your gnomes on your own and color them in before Saturday, just so we have more time to play with the distressed oxides, as we're not really focusing on coloring this month. Is more on the distressed oxide. So I did put in the instructions, the different colors to color the gnomes on each of the projects, so you can just grab a fun movie and get those colored in. And then the other thing, if you purchased this, if you purchased on my website this month and you did not get this cutting guide, please let me know. But if you did place an order on my website, you should have received this in an email or a message. So let me know. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to quickly show you the projects we'll be doing. Here is the layout. Right here, barbecue. The little grill and this turner is from the Chillin with My Gnomies stamp set and thin cuts, and we'll be using the Distress Oxides to add some grill marks. This is the 6x6 layout we'll be creating, and we're going to use a Tutti Frutti August stamp of the month. If you don't have that, you can do another title. A cute little gnome over here, and we're going to do a little distressed technique on the back of that. And then here are the cards. Again, just some distress oxides with stencils. And then we're going to get fancy with some other techniques. And then this one has quite a few different techniques on it. I'm excited to show you all the different layers that I used on this card. So those are the projects, and let's go ahead and get started on the cutting. Oh, I didn't bring my handy dandy sticky note to keep me on track. Okay, so for this one, you'll need to just grab, we're going to start on the layout. So you'll just want to grab 2 pieces of white cardstock. We're going to use that for the base, and just set those aside. And then the sapphire cardstock, which is this dark blue, you'll need 2 1/2-inch strips. So just cut it on the 1/2 inch. And I'm just going to pile them on top of my base. Then paprika, which is the orange. And grab that. I might sneeze here. Oh, my allergies get worse when school starts. Okay, so we have a 1/4 of an inch strip. We need 2 of those. It's my allergy. I know when school's going to start because my allergies start getting worse. I don't know why. It's just always been that way since I was a kid. All right, now we need the mink cardstock, which is like the light gray, and we need a 9.5. Oh, it's the pattern, sorry. All right, let me grab my pattern paper out. I've been using it, so I'm hoping I didn't use too much. It's just too cute. Okay, so here's the gray pattern, and we're going to cut 1 3/4, And we need 2 of those. So 1 3/4 and 1 3/4 again. And then we're going to cut this down to 9.5. Just like that. Okay. All right. Then the paprika pattern. Which is this one right here with the cute squares. This one is the same, 1 3/4 and 1 3/4 and 9.5. Okay. Then we need the denim pattern. This one right here, and again the same 1 3/4 and 1 3/4, and we're going to do 9.5. I can't remember, I got this pattern from somewhere. I can't remember where I got it. I'll have to look it up. I think it was from one of our idea books. But I love that it's super easy cutting, and then you can focus more on the techniques and your pictures. All right, so now we need the toffee dot pattern. This one right here. And it's 1 3/4 by 9.5. And I'm hoping I have more. Oh, I do. Let me cut that off. See, I've been playing with it too much. Okay, so now we need the wood side, and we're going to do 1 3/4 by 9.5. So this is all of the mix-in paper patterns. I really love a mix-in, just to have the different patterns. They do match with our other paper collections, but they also can be standalone as well. And I just realized I did not cut the toffee, or I didn't put the toffee cardstock in here for the photo mats. Oh man. Okay, so, and I didn't bring a ruler. Oh, I am really batting 1,000 today. Okay. Can you tell it's just been one of those crazy days? So it needs to be 10 inches by 4.5. So that's toffee. See, I do have this, so I can use it. So grab the toffee cardstock. And I'm getting low on my toffee too. I just realized when I pulled all the papers for this one, I was like, oh, I've been using them and now I'm low on them. It just happens, right? What did I say? 10 inches by 4.5. Okay. So let's do 4.5 and then 10 inches. And this will be our photo mat. I think I added that later. That's why it didn't get in on the instructions. That's what I'm gonna say anyway. Okay, and then these two photo mats, super easy. It's just 3 3¼ by 4¼ 3¼ and 4¼ I don't know about you guys, but I have kids going back to school and I feel like the next 2 weeks are just so crazy with getting them ready and back to school nights and all of the registrations and schedules. So I just feel like I am scatterbrained right now, so I apologize for that. Just all the things, but crafting is my therapy, so I'm glad I can do this craft night with you, or the craft day with you guys. Okay, so now we're moving on to the cards, and grab the blue dot pattern. It's on the back of this denim, and it's going to be 5.5 and 4 1/4. And then we're going to cut a strip that's 1 by 3.5, or just really it's a, if you just have a scrap, and you'll want to cut stars from your thin cuts with that one. Okay, now we need some distressed watercolor paper, or just plain white cardstock if you didn't get this distressed one. And pull out a piece. I've been playing with this too. Oh, everything's coming out. There we go. I like to keep it inside the package just so I keep it separate from my other paper, so I don't get it mixed. Even though this has a texture on it, and you could probably tell the difference when you're pulling it out of your stash, but I just like to keep it separate. Okay, so we are going to cut 3 3/4 by 5. Maybe I'll do the 5 first. There we go. And 3 3/4. We're going to do a fun treatment on that one. And then just regular white cardstock. Cut 4 by 3. And this will be the piece you want to cut your gnome. So there is a little bit you got to do on your own, but I think it'll be better just to focus on the Distress Oxides instead of all the extras, so our craft day doesn't go forever. Okay, setting those aside, we're card number 2. And you guys don't want to sit and watch me color, right? Unless you do, let me know. I can do a video on coloring too. Okay, so sage cardstock, it's 5 1/4 by 4. I just happen to have this little piece sitting by me. Then white cardstock, it is 3 3/4 by 5. And then 3 1/2 by 2 1/2, and that's for your watermelon gnome. And then mink cardstock, so that's that light gray. We need 1 1/4 by 2 1/2. And then the mink striped pattern paper, which will be in our Mix-in. It's this one right here that's on the back of the other mink. It needs to be 2. Let me see which way I cut it on the card. Okay, so I want the stripes going up and down. Okay, so cut this at 1 inch, and then 2 1/4, and that's going to be the piece we stamp on. And then the peach zip strip. Find so this kind of a plaid pattern right here. The zip strips are a half of an inch, so you can just line it up with the 1/2 inch and cut that. And it's going to be 1 3/4. Okay, and then the leaf pattern, which is this one right here, is 1.5 by 3/4. So I'm going to cut 3/4 first. When I'm doing smaller measurements, I measure off to the left because my trimmer has up to 1.5 on the left hand side, so it makes it easier to cut a straight line, I think anyway. And then 1.5. All right, and then we need a peach solid pattern paper, which is on the back of this one, and we're going to cut a 1/2 inch by 3.5. Okay, and then set that one aside for card number 2. Okay, so card number 3 and 4, we're making the same card, but we're going to be doing 2 different techniques. So we're going to cut 2 of each. So the watercolor paper, we are going to cut 5 1/4 by 4. So 5 1/4 by 4. We're going to do 2 of those. This stuff is thick. Okay, and then the sapphire cardstock, which is the dark blue, we're going to cut 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. Oh, that's already 5 1/2. Awesome. So 5 1/2 and then 4 1/4. Okay. Then the wood grain paper, right here, it is 1/2 inch by 4. That is not 4. That is going to be 5 1/2. I apologize. Actually, it's going to be 5 1/4. Oh heavens. Good thing I looked at that. 5 1/4. Because it goes right across this right here. Okay, yep. So a 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. I will need to fix that. All right, and then we need 6 by 4 white cardstock. So I'm going to cut at the 4 inch and 6 inch. And this is where you're going to stamp and cut out 2 gnomes and 2 pinwheels. Okay, so that is card number 3 and 4. Okay, so card number 5, I am going to need an extra piece of white cardstock. Oops. If you already have the slimline card bases, you can use that. I just cut a piece of white cardstock the same size as our slimline cards, just because it was one more thing on the supply list. So if you already have the slimline card bases, use that. If not, you can cut a piece of white cardstock at 8 1/2 by 7, and then we'll just fold that in half. Okay, so there's that. And then a 4 by 6, which we already have one because we just cut the other one, for the watermelon gnome, the sunglasses gnome, the grill, and the spatula. So you'll want to cut those out with the thin cuts and then stamp them and color them for our craft day. Okay, last thing is our 6 by 6 layout. So you'll need some peach cardstock, or you could always use this pattern. That'd be cute too. Okay, peach cardstock, and we're going to cut it at 6 by 6, and you need 2 of those for our base. And I think maybe I will do a coloring video for the gnomes. So now that I'm thinking about it, just give me an idea how to color them in. I can do that next week, early next week. Okay, so now the leaf paper. You need 2 inches by 5 3/4. And we need 2 of those. And now the wood pattern. We need 1 1/2. By 5 3/4. Okay, so now we need some watercolor cardstock. I had it buried in here somewhere. 5 3/4 by 3. So if I cut this at 3, hopefully I can get 5 3/4. Oh, it's gonna be too small. I'll grab another piece. So this package actually comes with, how many come in here? 10 sheets. And they go a long way, especially when you're just using a little piece here and there. Okay, so watercolor cardstock 3 inches by 5 3/4. This cardstock has like a rough side and a smooth side, so there's 2 different options, and it gives it a different look too. Alrighty, so now we need some mink cardstock. That's the gray, and we need 1 3/4 by 4 1/4. Then some toffee cardstock in my pile. Let's see if I have enough right here. Or I could use the wood grain too. 3 3/4. Okay, so it is, I'm using it as photo mats, and I didn't bring an extra piece. So you'll want to cut 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and cut 2. Oh, sorry. So you'll need 2 3 1/4 and 4 by 4 1/4, and then 1 3 1/2. Oh, sorry. Wow, I must have had a rough time with this toffee cardstock because I forgot to put it on this one too. So this one is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Okay. All right, so then the white cardstock. Is 4 by 1 1/2, and that's for our title. And then 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 for the gnome. So I'm just going to cut it 3 1/2, 3 1/2, 4, or 2 1/2, I guess. And that will be for our watermelon gnome. Okay, so I apologize for the mix up with the toffees, but I will fix the instructions on that. Okay, so everything is cut. Just go ahead and cut out your thin cuts that are indicated and stamp them. And then I will do a video early next week of how to color them in, just so you have an idea of how to do that. And then we will be doing all of these projects next Saturday, which is August 21st. So make sure you, I think we'll start about, well, we always start at 9 a.m. mountain time. And then I will post agenda. I'm going to do each of the projects separately so we have time, because some of these are different techniques, and so I want to stop, clean, and have a minute to clean up and then move on to the next technique. So just watch for that agenda. And again, if you have not purchased your supplies, there is still time. You can find the supplies on my website, juliescott.closemyheart.com. When you place an order on my website, I do send you the cutting instructions. I'm going to go fix them so now they're right. And also you'll have access to the videos, and they will stay in on my Facebook group, and also I will upload them to my YouTube channel. So if you cannot join us live, you can come back and watch them later. So let me know if you have any questions, and watch for the coloring video next week. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.